Hey, it's Patrick Grosser with Fathom Realty, and this is your Cincinnati real estate market news for week 41 of 2021. We're going to take a look at the news for this past week in the real estate market here in Cincinnati, and we're going to compare it to the same week last year in 2020 to see how we measure up. But we're also going to look, after we analyze those numbers, at three strategies you can utilize in the Cincinnati real estate market right now here in the fall season, the off season as we head into winter as well, to achieve your real estate goals, regardless of whether you're buying or selling or doing both. So let's jump right into the numbers here for this week. Again, this past week compared to the same week in 2020. New listings are down 20%. That's a big drop. We're going to talk about why that might be the case in a second here. Closings are down 16%. That's another big drop as well. So we have been talking about this for the last few weeks here. We do expect this trend to continue of a decline, even a kind of a severe decline in the number of new listings and the number of closings compared to last year. We're actually experiencing a normal market shift right now in the fall where there's fewer listings coming to market. There's fewer closings happening because there's overall less activity in the fall compared to the summer. That's normal. That's happening here in 2021. But everybody knows 2020 was not a normal year with the pandemic happening. So a lot of people that wanted to move in the spring and the summer of 2020 delayed that as long as they could. And so we had a lot more activity, new listings, more closings in the fall and winter of 2020 than normal. So as we compare normal conditions in 2021 to abnormal conditions in 2020, we're going to see these huge drops in the number of new listings and closings, I think, for the next several weeks here. Average sale price is up 16%, so that's been a consistent increase. We've seen about an average of around 17%, some weeks higher, some weeks lower, of course, but on average, we're pretty close to that. We're at 16% growth compared to the same time last year in average sale price. Great news for homeowners. That makes it difficult still for buyers to afford. Buyers are hanging on to those historically low mortgage interest rates, which are helping to make these higher home prices affordable. Now, we've been hearing some news, maybe you have too, that mortgage interest rates may increase as early as January of 2022. If that does happen, we do expect that the rise in sale prices is going to slow down. We don't think it's going to level off or drop off or crash or anything. We still feel like it's a tight inventory market. There's more demand than supply. So prices, just like we're seeing with many other commodities right now, are rising naturally because of supply and demand in the market. But if interest rates increase, then we're going to see that the pace at which home prices increase is going to have to slow down so that home buyers can afford it. So what we'll see is maybe a decrease in demand after a while here if interest rates are too high and the prices are too high, where it kind of prices people out of the market. Perhaps maybe initially in reaction to increased mortgage interest rates, it might actually rush some buyers to have that oh crap moment where they're thinking, I really need to get to market. I need to buy something because I'm not going to be able to afford it pretty soon. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll keep you up to speed on that. Average days on market is down 30%. So right now we're taking about 14 days to go from active to pending status. The best marketed and priced listings, the ones that are move-in ready, don't need any work, are getting under contract a lot quicker than that. But the ones that need work or are not marketed properly, maybe overpriced as well, those are taking a little bit longer than 14 days. Compared to last year where it was taking about 20 days to go from active to pending status. Total inventory right now is at 2.31 months. Not a big change from last week. We have 39% of that as active or coming soon inventory, which is the inventory that buyers have to choose from when they're doing showings and offers. So effectively we're at less than 1 month of active inventory, which is really what the buyers are experiencing right now. 61% of the total inventory is in pending status, which means it's under contract. The sellers have already accepted an offer. They're just going through the process before closing. They haven't closed yet, so they're still considered part of total inventory. So we really focus on active inventory, again, less than 1 month right now because that's what buyers are experiencing. It's still a very tight market right now. So let's talk about three strategies you can utilize here in the off season, here in the fall, in the Cincinnati real estate market to achieve your real estate goals. Again, whether you're buying or selling or doing both, we'll start with people who are thinking about selling. It's historically one of the hottest markets we've ever seen here in Cincinnati and really throughout the entire country. If you've talked to veterans like myself, been doing it for 7 years, even people who've been doing it for 30 years, their whole career, they've never seen a market right now this year that's this hot for sellers. Now, we're talking about how we've seen some drop in buyer demand like normal here in the fall. So we are experiencing that as well. So it's not quite as hot for sellers right now as it was maybe a month or two ago. But if you are considering a move, if you need to sell in order to make a move, I don't see any reason to wait until next year. We don't know what's going to happen to buyer demand if interest rates do increase, or what's going to happen to home prices. They're not going to rise certainly at the rate at which they have been this year. That's not really sustainable to rise 17% every single year. So I would never recommend that you try to time the market and sell your home based on that, move based on what's going on in the market. But if you already are thinking about it, it's a good time for you to move in this chapter in your life, then why not take advantage of the historic seller's market? So what you want to do is, because we're in the fall season and we are experiencing that tapering off of buyer demand compared to the summer this year, like normal, you need to make sure that you're doing the right type of marketing to attract the right type of buyers for your home. It's not enough in the off season to simply do the generic cheap method of marketing that most agents and for sale by owner listings do, where they put it in the MLS and on other consumer sites and they kind of wait around for showings and offers to come in. That was effective in the summer because buyer demand was at a feverish pitch, and so we were able to get multiple offers well over list price doing just kind of basic marketing for most properties. So if you have a luxury level home, maybe you're on acreage, or even if you're just a standard single family home or condo, because we're in the fall, you need to do additional marketing in order to make sure that you're getting everything out of your sale as you possibly can. The best price, the best terms. What we do for our clients as an option, if they want to get that additional marketing help, make sure they're reaching the right types of buyers, is something we call target marketing. Now you can learn more about that. We put together a video, an overview of how that works at patrickgrosser.com/sell. So check that out. That's an educational overview. We're not going to try to swipe your contact information. We're not going to try to sell you anything. We're just educating you on that as an option. We do recommend that certainly in the off season to help you get the right types of buyers for your home. So what we do with target marketing is we find the most opportune buyers for your home, those that would consider your home to be their dream home. And the way we figure that out is by looking at the unique features of your home, and we match those with the people who will be most interested in those features based on their wants and needs. So for example, if you have a home office, a den, we want to make sure we're target marketing people that work from home. That's a lot of people right now, but we want to make sure that we're not just reaching folks that do commute to work, because they're not going to be willing to pay you extra for that office, whereas somebody who needs a dedicated office in their home is going to be willing to pay a premium for that. Also, if you have a 4-bedroom home as opposed to a 3-bedroom, we're looking for a family that has 3 kids or more that would utilize all those bedrooms. Again, if they're working from home, even better, they may use one of those bedrooms as an office. If you have a 3-car garage, that's pretty unique. We want to find somebody who owns 3 cars, or maybe they own 2 cars and a motorcycle. We can do that demographic research to figure out who those people are, who will be most interested. Another really common one right now, we have a lot of people that are at or near retirement age that want 1-floor living. So if you have a home that's a ranch, even if it has a basement, especially if it has laundry on the first floor and a bedroom and a bathroom on the first floor, if everything's accessible on the first floor with no steps, that appeals very much to people who are at or near retirement age that don't want to navigate steps or just really can't do that due to their health. So we want to make sure that we're reaching those people, again, who would be most interested in the unique features of your home and therefore be willing to pay a premium for that. Give you the best price, give you the best terms, like not having to pay for their closing costs, not having to do a bunch of repairs, and giving you the closing date that you want, which ultimately sometimes is the most important thing for you, is to get the timing you need for your move. So we do all of this, again, as part of our target marketing program. If you're interested in more information on that, how it works, see if it will be a good fit for you when you sell your home, go ahead and check out the video there at patrickgrosser.com/sell. Now, if you're thinking about buying a home, most people who are considering a move first start with, where am I going to go to? And that's been a difficult position to be in because there's limited inventory. So one thing we've been starting to offer some of our clients and some people that we meet here through our advertising that reach out to us, we've gotten a lot of feedback that people really want a customized search. They also want access to off-market listings, things that a situation where a homeowner might be willing to sell if they found the right buyer, but they don't want to commit to an agent yet. They're not on the market yet. They don't want to go through the traditional hassle of preparing their home for photography and showings and having a bunch of people come through their house and dealing with multiple offers. They'd rather just sell it for this price, close on this date, as long as they can find their next house. If they can get what they want, they'd rather just do it off market if they can, because there's so many buyers that are constantly out there asking around. They've gotten the idea, these homeowners, that they could probably sell it off market if they just had a buyer and maybe an agent to guide that buyer through the process. So, and we're getting the same feedback from buyers that they would rather buy off market if possible. It's not always easy to do, but something that we're offering through what we call our just looking approach. So what we do is we can set you up with an MLS search, customize those criteria, make sure that we get sent to you through email at the moment any listing that hits the market it's matching your criteria. That way you're notified immediately of what's on the market, so you don't miss out on anything. But also, if we have any opportunities through our advertising, and we may even select your criteria if it's an area that we're also looking for new listings in, we may actually advertise through direct mail, social media advertising to find homeowners who would be willing to sell off market. They may raise their hand and say, well, let's talk about terms and price. Let's see if we can make something work out. We've actually recently made that work with the buyer and seller. It worked out very well. We already kind of knew what price the seller was looking for. It was a fair price. We worked out all the terms. We figured if the buyers liked it, they would write an offer. We already knew what was acceptable. Buyers didn't have to compete in multiple offers. Sellers didn't have to review all the offers and have a bunch of showings. They didn't have to prepare really at all. They just kind of got all their stuff out and we walked through. It was a very easy process and very beneficial for buyers and sellers alike. So that does happen sometimes. Off-market deals do work really well. That's a very effective strategy here to get pre-market access to unlisted homes and also to get the latest information through the MLS even before it hits the consumer sites like Zillow and Realtor.com. There are coming soon listings. You want to make sure you're notified of listings that match your criteria immediately before other buyers know about it, because that still is a competitive market here in Cincinnati for buyers. So if you'd like to learn more about that approach, again, that's our just looking approach. The best part about it, as you'll learn there if you check out the video, patrickgrosser.com/justlooking. There's a funny story how we came up with this approach and why we do it this way, but essentially we set all this stuff up for you. We keep you in mind. We let you know about opportunities that match your criteria on the market and off the market, but we're not bothering you. We're not looking over your shoulder. We're not trying to get you to get pre-approved. We're not trying to convince you to go see a house or write an offer when we do see a house. You're telling us that you're just looking. You're not ready to see a house yet. You're not ready to write an offer. You just want to keep an eye on the market. And so we're taking you at your word and we're not bothering you. We're setting you up with the information you need. And whenever you're ready to reach out to us because you want to schedule a showing or because you have a question about a listing, we're ready to help you with that. But again, we're not going to bother you. We know it's a big purchase, a big decision to make a move, and we certainly don't want to pressure you into doing anything you don't want to do. So that's our just looking approach. Again, check that out. More information how to get signed up, patrickgrosser.com/justlooking. Now, if you're thinking about buying and selling at the same time, maybe you've started to look into the financing options of holding your current mortgage, getting a new mortgage for the next house because you want to move into the next house before you move out of your house. You don't want to have to sell, move out, then shop for a house, and then move in again and move twice. You may have found out through that process of getting pre-approved for that scenario that your debt-to-income ratios aren't quite right according to the lenders. They're not willing to do that situation. So you may look into it, what's called a bridge loan, or you may look into what some people call it a blanket mortgage. There's a couple of different ways to do that, but there's something new that we have discovered here recently this year and utilized for some of our clients that's worked very well. We call it the bridge solution. So you can check that out and other traditional options, how you can work out the financing, if you should buy first or sell first, or if you can do everything simultaneously, how did the logistics and the financing work out for that. We put together a video on all of that at patrickgrosser.com/bridge. So the bridge solution is a relatively new thing where you can sell your home to an investor partner of ours. You can lease it back month to month until you find your new home. You get it under contract, you close, you move into your new home, and then you go ahead and sell. We actually help you sell your home on the open market. But while you're living in the home, while you're shopping for your home, you can take your time to find the right home. You don't have to move out. You can stay there. You can be comfortable with you and your family. You don't have to move twice, but you also get most of your equity from the home. You tap into that. You can pay off debts. You can trade up to a better loan, put a bigger down payment down, and then after you move into your new home, we sell it on the open market. You get the remainder of your equity. So it's a really good situation. It sounds almost too good to be true. And we've had some clients, some feedback from them saying that exactly before they signed up. They thought it was too good to be true. So we walked them through that video. Again, patrickgrosser.com/bridge. We literally talked about all the same things we talked about in that video. They decided they wanted to go with it, and it actually worked out way better than they expected. They were able to get their home sold for more than they thought it was worth. We were able to sell it on the open market and get the rest of their equity very quickly. But while they were living there still, they were able to tap that equity, pay off debts, put more money down, get a better loan, so that although before they implemented the bridge solution fully, they had lost out on 3 offers in a row, even though they were tens of thousands of dollars over list price in each case, simply because the sellers had the homes they were bidding on had several offers, and the only differentiating factor was this one was a more conventional loan than theirs on their offer, so they went with the more conventional loan. So once we traded up to the more conventional loan on more down payment, on the 4th time around, we actually won the bid in multiple offers. We were the ones who had the most attractive offer because we used the bridge solution to get us to that point. So it's something, if you're thinking about buying and selling at the same time, you can't get pre-approved to buy your next home while holding your current mortgage. There are some traditional options to help you with that. There's also the bridge solution, but you can learn about all of them at patrickgrosser.com/bridge. Now, I hope this information is helpful to you. We do market news updates every single week on Fridays. We also do buyer-seller tips and strategies frequently as well. If you want to make sure you get more of this video content in your feed here, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. The algorithm will have the information it needs to get you more relevant content. On Facebook, if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our videos in the future, you have to follow our business page and turn on notifications. It's not enough to just like the page. You actually have to turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss any of our videos in the future. But also check out our timeline and playlist. We have lots of videos we've done in the past that can help bring you up to speed with the market and some seller and buyer tips and strategies you can utilize right now. And also, if you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel, make sure you don't miss anything there. It's Patrick Grosser-Cincinnati Realtor. And by the way, if you have any topic suggestions for us or any questions you'd like answered in a video format, maybe things we haven't covered yet you'd like to see us cover in the future, we'd be happy to get you educated on those topics, get those questions answered for you, because not only can we educate you, but chances are there's other people in our audience here in our community that probably have the same questions, probably want us to cover those same topics. So you're not just helping us to educate you, but also our general audience as well. I'm Patrick Grosser, and thanks for watching.